Hello, welcome to the fourth quarter. I am your host, Adriana Lamar, here as usual with Sammy Wells and Tommy Scott. Now, for those of you who are listening, yes, we did have to change our name thanks to a professional prime time program that recently came on the air, but we actually like the fourth quarter much better. So thank you for stealing our name as we grow in our practice here. We're going to get to you with some football in just a minute here. Week one was interesting, a couple of upsets there, and we're going to talk about game two and some other interesting stories that have happened in the news this week. So we'll be right back, but while waiting, please go ahead and kick that like and subscribe button. Well, no, don't kick it, click it, and we'll be right back in a moment. All right, we are back. So let's get started by talking about our week one stats. Now, I don't mean what happened in every individual game. I mean, how did you two do in your game against each other? Who picks the right teams and win? We're not going to go through the whole list, but according to my calculations, you both hit 7 wins accurately. So you are actually tied for week one. So you both get a 1 on this one. Good job. You can give yourselves a round of applause or a pat on the back or whatever you want to do, whatever makes you feel special. That said, let's go ahead and jump into week two. So we already had a game, the first game of the week, and that was last night with the Chargers over the Chiefs, or I should put that the other way around. The Chiefs actually prevailed over the Chargers. That game was interesting to watch. It looks for a minute there like Chiefs were not going to pull through on that, but they did. So yay, because that would have been my pick for the week. Sam, I know you would have picked the Chargers, so you're going to get a 0 on that one for the week. So not doing so well so far. That said, Patriots versus the Steelers. What is
Whoa,
your
whoa,
pick?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, yeah, I should mention, Tommy, you would have picked the Chiefs, so you get a 1.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So now we'll move forward. Patriots Steelers. Sam?
Patriots Steelers. It's hard for me to go against Mike Tomlin. It's hard for me to go against Mike Tomlin. I mean, he did pull out a win. I think that they came out and played good defense against the Bengals, and I'm expecting the Steelers to go 2-0.
Tommy?
Pretty much the same thing. Because it was the defense that kind of held them in the last one and made that the way it was. And with the Patriots, it's the offense that seems to be struggling right now. I'm going to go with the Steelers because you don't have to have a fantastic quarterback to have a great defense. It turns out, who knew? That's the thing. So I think defense prevails in this one. I think Steelers win.
All right. Panthers versus the Giants. Tommy?
That's a tough one. Both of them had played decent last week. I think both lost. But I think on this one, simply because I'm not sure, and it would irritate the hell out of somebody. And I know that he's now going to have to pick a team that has a quarterback that he's not very fond of, simply because the other team exists in his division. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Which brings us to you, Sam.
You know what? I have to say this. You know what? The Giants the running back looked pretty good. Saquon Barkley actually looked pretty good. And I know he's out there trying to prove a point. And, if they keep feeding him the ball, I mean, the Giants can be very competitive. But I am going to go for the
a
Panthers.
however or a but.
I am going to go for the Panthers. I am going to go for Baker Mayfield for, once because, I think he can.
Because with Dak out, you need all the help you can get.
I think he needs to prevail. I think he needs to prevail to
Come on,
keep starting.
Cowboys.
I think he needs to prevail to keep starting. Now, it's Baker Mayfield started the game not playing well and everything else, but I think that he has I think that he'll beat the Giants. I do. I think the Giants got lucky last week, and the fact that they're in the division of the Cowboys, I'm going with the Panthers.
Okay, Panthers it is. Sam, Jets versus Browns.
Hmm. I'm going to go with the Browns. You know what? They won last week and they look pretty good. The Jets, you know, they got a lot of things to clean up. So I'm going with the Browns.
Okay, Tommy?
Yeah, I got to go with the Browns too. The Browns look like, despite the offseason drama, they made some improvements, as where the Jets look like they just kind of picked up where they left off.
All right, Tommy, Colts versus Jaguars.
Ooh. That was, Jaguars, I think, looked a lot better last week than what, I don't know, anybody would have thought that they did. I'm going to go Colts. I'm going to go with the Colts on this one. Colts over Jags.
Sam?
Okay, so Jaguars did look pretty good as far as the way they were moving the ball. They did keep it very competitive in the game that they were playing. Um, the Colts, it's just hard for me to pick the Colts because how could you tie with Houston? That is just I mean, I don't know if it's from last year. I don't know if it's from last year, the Jaguars versus Colts last year that they um I don't know what happened. They trade quarterbacks, so it can't be it's not Carson Wentz's fault. So Carson Wentz and then Washington like, see, I told you it wasn't me. But um I'm
And
going to go
he
with the
might not actually
Jaguars.
be saying that. He may be saying it wasn't just me.
Okay, Sam, Dolphins over the Ravens, or Dolphins versus Ravens.
Dolphins versus the Ravens. Oh goodness, this is a hard one because Miami play good, Ravens play good. I am going to give the edge to the Ravens.
Tommy?
You know, it's a tricky one just because with the way Miami played and kind of they seem like they're turning a corner. You want to see them have success. You want to see them continue to do good. And I think for this one, for me, if they're playing in Miami, I go with the Dolphins, but they're not. So I'm going to go with the Ravens, but do understand that without the unknown factors going on with Lamar Jackson, and those things. If you remove that, I don't care where they're playing. I'm picking the Ravens. If you play in my backyard, I'm still gonna pick the Ravens. So it's on that one. But they're playing at home, so it's like extra. Like, okay, I'm gonna stick with the Ravens because they're the Ravens
Clearly, there's an advantage. Yeah.
slightly.
Okay.
Also, when you have players that have had longer success and more success, it's just things add up. It's all.
All right. What about Buccaneers versus Saints?
You see, this was tricky, and I'll tell you first that I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers, but I'm also gonna tell you that the Saints have been Brady's kryptonite. I don't think in a division game he's managed to beat the Saints yet. I think he's 0 for 4 or for over. I think it's 0 for 4 now. And oddly enough, I'm picking the Buccaneers simply because the probability of going 0 for 5 is way less than getting the 1 for 4, and it's a change-up year. The hard part is when you look at what the Saints are doing, they're kind of they're moving along. They're looking a lot better than they have in the recent past. And does that stick around? Uh, we'll see. But it's also, it's like, I have a hard time seeing Tom Brady losing essentially 5 games in a row. But then again, there was that whole issue that he had with the Giants and the Super Bowl. So But I'm still going to go with Tampa Bay.
Sam, Buccaneers, Saints.
I'm gonna go with the Saints because I just feel like the Saint defense. It's like they kind of like who's our next game? Oh, Tom Brady. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get all my full rest. I'm gonna make sure I get all my massages. I'm gonna make sure that we go over the game plan. 3 times, 4 times to make sure because I just want to get that interception or sack Tom Brady. And I think the Saints are going to win. The Saints defense is just thirsty to put another loss under Brady.
All right, Sam, Commanders versus the Lions.
Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead. Roll that dice.
I'm going to pick the Lions. I'm sorry. You know what? You know what? Everybody can have their jokes about the Lions, but hey, this team plays hard. And hey, at the end of the day, yes, they may have lost the game against the Eagles, but they played hard and they came back and they are. I promise you, they are.
They
I
have
feel
to
that they're going to
win.
win this game. I feel like they're
Jack
going
is
to win this
out.
game.
They have to win.
They got to win this game. They're going to win this game. They put their heart. They put it this way. They put more heart than the Dallas Cowboys did against the Buccaneers. So I'm going to go with the Lions to beat the Commanders.
Tommy?
And you said it's Carson Wentz that was saying it wasn't me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Commanders on this one because I get it, Sam. Yeah, they played hard and they did all that, but I don't know what curse they got on under there. But that whole organization when they came down on Stafford as hey, yeah, he's good. It's time to move on. We need to do those things. And what did he do? He's like, oh, okay, fine, yeah, feel that way. Excuse me,
Okay.
I got this thing over here I got to go do real quick. I like I said, the Lions have this thing where it's like, yeah, they're always going to be close. They're always going to be that team that's just about there.
Okay, and
Just
you're gonna
outside.
trust
Commanders.
you're gonna trust Wentz
No,
against the Lions defense.
no. I don't trust the Lions. Meaning, insert a high school football team here. I'm going for them.
Okay.
All right. Sam or Tommy, actually, Tommy, you first. Seahawks, 49ers.
49ers.
Sam?
Man, usually I would say the 49ers, but
Against the Seahawks?
I mean,
have you watched those games like in the past?
honestly, I was expecting. Well, I was expecting a blowout by the Broncos of being the Seahawks because of Geno Smith, and then Geno Smith actually came out and played like not Geno Smith of the past, and it was just like, I'm gonna actually go with the Seahawks on this one.
I do want to point one thing out though, as you mentioned Geno Smith. You do know that pretty much his entire career kind of looks like that, where it's like, wow, that was amazing, and then there was the following week.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Geno Smith because actually, I mean, looking at Trey Lance and the way that he was operating the offense, it just seems like the 49ers were kind of lost. And, already now they're already calling for just 1 week of play. A lot of 49er fans are already calling out for Jimmy to replace Trey Lance. And I'm just like, give him a chance, but I just don't. I think I'm gonna go with the more experienced quarterback, Geno, to beat the 49ers because I think that Trey Lance is still trying to figure things out.
Do you think that maybe this year wasn't that particular year? But anyway, we won't get into that.
All right, Sam, Falcons versus Rams.
Rams. I think Rams are going to rebound from their week 1 loss.
Tommy?
Yeah, I think they rebound here, and they beat the Falcons. Yeah. I guess that would be the
Okay.
trick is when the Lions and Falcons play, that's going to be tough.
Tommy, Cardinals versus Raiders.
Cardinals, I don't, and it's not. Cardinals have their issues. Not that they're still a good team. They still got things to figure out. Just like the Rams. It's like everybody's got their stuff they got to figure out. But the team that seems to routinely have stuff to figure out, the same stuff to figure out, being the Raiders, is like I was really really hoping for last week a much different showing. And it just kind of seemed like, oh, here it is, more of the same. And so, for me to pick the Raiders, they got to pay the Lions or show better. So Cardinals.
Sam?
I'm going to actually pick the Raiders on this one. I think they rebound from their week 1 loss. I think Devontae played unbelievable. I think he's going to have an unbelievable game with Arizona. I think Derek Carr is going to play a lot better. And I think, after the week 1 loss, that they actually are, like, hey, we need to get this rolling.
Okay, Sam, Texans versus the Broncos.
Broncos.
Tommy?
Broncos.
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 Tommy, Bengals versus the Cowboys.
Well, a little over or a week ago, I'd have a different opinion, but I got to go with the Bengals on this one because the Cowboys going in basically with their tail between their legs and banged up.
Yeah.
If they weren't banged up, I'd probably go with the Cowboys on this one, especially after a week 1 loss to Tampa Bay. But I don't. Yeah, Bengals.
Dare I ask, Sam?
Okay, well, I would say first I want to say this before I make my pick that you never usually hear this from me ever about the Cowboys, and I'm usually a homer when it comes to the Dallas Cowboy when it's especially with my team. I have to say that Jerry Jones, love the owner, love the organization and everything else, but that last Sunday was the most pathetic piece of game that I have ever seen the Cowboys play. I mean, it was so upsetting to see that we only scored 3 points. I think everybody in the NFL scored a touchdown but the Cowboys. That was pathetic. And Dak Prescott with his optimism is pretty sickening because the fact of it is that, oh, we're going to show our haters what we can do, and you produce that. You produce 3 points, and we're going to show to say, hey, we're going to show our haters. What did you show them? That you're pathetic.
That you're not ready.
Okay, and that the defense, and let me say this, as far as the offense was pathetic, the defense was brilliant. The defense, if you could keep Tom Brady from to scoring 19 points, and if our offense would have been able to score, we would have probably won that game. But our defense got tired, and things happen. I can't blame our defense. Our defense played excellent. Our offense just horrible. But I am going to go with the Cowboys. I think that Ezekiel is going to step up. I think Cooper Rush is going to step up. He won a game in Minnesota last year when Dak was sidelined. So, I have to see what he's going to be able to do. A lot of what I'm reading and what I'm hearing from a lot of the Cowboys is that they respect him and that he's a good backup. So we're going to see what he can do. And plus, the game is in Dallas. So, there goes a home field advantage. So hopefully we win.
Well, I did want to throw something out there with this one, as you mentioned, the owner in this one. I have a hard time believing that, as you said, the home field advantage, that one of his end of the year comments regarding that home field advantage, kind of sticks in there, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna let this blind you, and then basically tell you to tough it out. And I get it. You want him to catch the ball, but when you can't see it, and it's one of those words, not like he can do anything about it, right? What's he going to go up there with some plywood and cover it up? But it's still just a matter of saying, instead of kind of throwing your players, so to speak, under the bus with it, just kind of saying like, hey, it's something that we've got to deal with, whatever. But the way that he kind of ended last year just had that really sour feeling of, hey, I as an owner, maybe I could have done something about it. Maybe we can address this. Maybe we do something. Now I'm gonna take a different tact on it. And so, with Dak being out, nobody wanted to see that, right? Even though thankfully it's not like another big thing, right? And we hope he comes back soon. But the defense was good. The defense stymied. They made Tom Brady's life miserable. But yeah, it's gonna, if they can get that side, if they get the, as you said, if they do what they do on offense, yeah, they're gonna be good. But I just think they're gonna have a hard time doing that even at home.
Okay, so Tommy, Bears over the Pack, or why do I keep saying over? Bears versus Packers.
The Bears are at Lambeau. Still got to go with Aaron Rodgers on this. He's kind of owned the Bears forever, and rather some of those games weren't Aaron Rodgers owning the Bears. It was the Bears allowing Aaron Rodgers to own them. And given that this is in Lambeau Field, the Bears played good last week. Still keep in mind that they needed help from San Francisco to win that game. I still think they deserved to win that game more than San Francisco did. But San Francisco had to give them a hand in that. So I think, especially playing terrible last week, and we talked about it last week, I think, where Sammy mentioned that Aaron Rodgers kind of likes to come in, not likes. Aaron Rodgers comes in and kind of puts up the egg early and figures things out. So I think this will be a rebound for the Packers, and I think the Packers win.
Sam?
I'm actually going to go with the Bears. I think that the Justin Fields is going to walk into Lambeau and tell the Packer fans, "I own you." Because last year you had Aaron Rodgers talking about "I own you" when he went to Chicago and everything else like that. So I think Justin Fields is going to bring that swagger from that first week one, and just I think that the Bears are going to annihilate the Bears defense is going to annihilate the Packers offense, because honestly, I think none of the receivers for the Packers want to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Sam, Titans versus Bills.
Oh, Bills.
Tommy?
Bills. I think Bills are gonna be a mighty one to stop this year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm.
And then Tommy, Vikings versus Eagles is our last game of the week.
Vikings.
Sam?
Oh, of course, you know I have the Vikings. I can't stand the Eagles. I can't
Well,
stand the Eagles.
especially now that they don't have Donovan McNabb.
I can't stand the
Oh,
Eagles. You know
he had
what?
that flashback memory of like, oh wait a minute, I know what he's referring to.
All right, so I got the stats for this week. We'll check in next week and see how you guys did and how your standing is against each other. That said, let's take a quick break and we will come back and talk about some of the stuff in the news.